Welcome back to another 2021 Player Outlook presented by RotoHeat.com. This time we're talking TJ Hockenson, Detroit Lions. And thanks as always for checking out the videos. We really do appreciate it when you guys like, subscribe, hit those notification icons. We're making our way to 3,000 subs on the channel, and we love it, and we thank you guys. All right, so the 14 analysts that look into Hockenson, we think he's finishing somewhere between tight end 4 and 7 overall by season's end. 11 are buying him, 2 are holding him, 1's on the sell train. And we think his ADP is going to be higher next year as opposed to this year, which is crazy to think about because he's already in talks of being one of the top tight ends in fantasy. But we do think there's still that potential. We got some tight ends that are getting a little bit older, so Hawk does still have some room to go. And we think he's going to be, we're 100% confident he's a weekly starter in 2021. What do you think? Is this a guy that you've targeted to be your weekly starting tight end? Are you on the buy, sell, hold conversation? Answer all those questions below. I know that throughout these videos I ask you lots of questions because I want to talk about them. So I want to talk about Hawk in the comments below with you. Maybe a Lions homer, but I do love to have conversations about good tight ends, and Hawk is that. When you're looking at the redraft side of things, the redraft ADP from friends like over at Fantasy Pros, he's right now at tight end number 6 overall, or 57, tight end 6, or 57 overall. When you look at from a like the Roto Heat Superflex ADP, he's sitting at tight end 5 or 54 overall. So obviously everybody's very similar in the short term and the long term, that this guy is a foundational piece of your roster, your top tight end, and you can use him for the foreseeable future. And there really is no reason to not feel that way. So now obviously we know new coaching staff, but we've got things that we can look at. We've got tea leaves we can read. Obviously the head coach was a tight end. Maybe not as dynamic a tight end as Hawk when he was in the league. Dan Campbell was around to be more of a physical force, a blocker, but did get a little involved in the passing game over his years in the league, especially even in his time with Detroit. But Anthony Lynn, his OC, comes over from the Chargers. There's some things to glean from that. His offense, passing and rushing, were top 10 in the league last year. They were a team that was more than willing to throw. And when you look at the depth chart for the Lions, Hockenson could easily be, their top target in the passing game. He's their best playmaker, at least currently. When you look at what they're probably going to put out for week 1 at their wide receiver position, Terrell Williams is a guy that Anthony Lynn's very familiar with. So there is the history there. And Williams has been brought into teams to be their number 1 receiver, but injuries and just not gelling has hurt him over his time in the league. So Hockenson should have no problem being the top option, but Terrell Williams is going to be there. Rashad Perriman, a Lions staple from the past, if you remember his dad, Brett Perriman. He's also there, and then rookie Amon-Ra St. Brown is slated to be the slot receiver and looking good so far in camp, from everything I've been seeing and watching. But ultimately, when you swing it back, Hawk is still the man in this offense. How do you guys feel about this Detroit offense? Do you guys see Hockenson as the tight end 1, as the top target in this passing game? Let me know in the comments. It's an interesting situation. When I went through the different analyst notes, most of them expect him to be fed early and often. The tight end 1 that he wants on every roster. Those are some of the comments you're seeing from the different analysts here at Roto Heat. He should be the top target. He will have a ton of volume thrown. There's a lot of positives to look at for a guy like this. So if you're targeting, the tight end 1, obviously Kittle, Kelsey, Waller, these guys are up there. But if you don't want to spend that premium and you want to wait a couple of rounds or wait a round or 2, because Hawk will go not long after, this is a great guy to target. But as always, let me know in those comments. I know last year he was a Pro Bowler and had over 100 targets. He should have probably somewhere in the 120 to 50 range as long as he's healthy, target-wise, in my opinion. So where do you see Hawk at? Where is he at for you? Let's keep this conversation going below. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Watch the other 2021 Player Outlooks, and we'll talk to you again next time.